And welcome back for the third and final matchup here on Bravo Stream. It's coming out of the Metropolitan as Laurentian Esports take on New Jersey Institute of Technology Red in a battle for a playoff bye. The qualifier bye right now where NJIT are on the outside looking in. My name is still Morgan Dunn. I am rejoined by Cam Burt. And Cam, how are you feeling about this matchup?
Feeling pretty good. Just got some interesting information behind the scenes that these guys on Laurentian are not just Call of Duty athletes, but also the Kilgannons that we were thinking of. These guys, you got to look them up on their social medias if you don't know. They're really gifted.
They got hops.
Yeah, they got hops, exactly.
Somehow, even though their name is literally Kilgannon, nobody put it together until our producer just told me it is Jordan Kilgannon, professional dunker. He can jump up and put his elbow through a rim. That's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. But yes, they are going to be coming in on LU and trying to secure and make sure that they get through with that first round qualifier bye as a top seed. Sitting at 4-4 right now, they are right on the edge and still have a lot of games to be played.
Right. They're right on the edge there. Not so much to lose for them. It seems like they'll get that spot at least into that 5 to 8 range. But for NJIT, there's a lot to gain here. You're in the 9 spot, just on the cusp of getting a better seeding for the regional qualifiers. So I really feel like for them, this is an important one to win. You're coming off 3 straight losses, though, if you're New Jersey. That doesn't benefit you at all. But we're going to jump into Moscow to start. I think it favors Laurentian here going into it because, I mean, these Kilgannon guys, not only can they play basketball, if they can play some Call of Duty, they've got a couple 2+ kill death ratios. Going to have to slow them down if you're NJIT. But we'll jump into things and see exactly what shakes out on the map. From the basketball court to the hard point slaying area we go.
And for NJIT, you got to keep an eye out on Locks. He is their best hardport slayer. And the captain, JT Speed, often in the Bravo chat, but now on the screen. They're going to be trying to set the pace early here on Moscow. Big shots there by K1 and K2. They pick up both. And right now on Moscow, what are you really looking for on these teams? There are obviously a couple of big rotations. And how are you going to be able to make your money?
Yeah, it's such a spaced out map. There's so much to work with that you really don't have to outslay your opponent. We saw a game last night, me and Alan hold shift on the Alpha stream, where one team was being heavily outslayed, but they still won the map because they were able to soak up objective time. So, I mean, we have to expect the slaying to be in favor of LU, but it doesn't mean NJIT can't win this one in a different way. Big kills, though, coming through as the rotation for P2 starts to take place. K1, 5-1 on a 4-kill streak. If he can get this kill on Locks up top, really going to put his team in a good spot.
Rock's coming down to challenge around the stairs, and K1 figured it out, got the info there, tries to finish off the drop shot, and gets there. Now only 2 kills away from getting onto those streaks, and has a Krig 6 in hand to try and play from up in the window. But that's not his style. He is the SMG on the scene. He wants to get up in your face, finds the first. Oh, there we go! K1 putting them down one after the next, and that next kill could be enough to close it. Money G taken down by K2 from up in the window. K1 just hoping someone challenges. There goes Locks. He will fall, and already early on, Laurentian have a big lead, and they have 2 streaks.
Yeah, just an early dunk there from K1. 9-2 to start, and yeah, they're winning the battles right now, but they haven't had a whole lot of time come through on P2. Finally, Obito is going to get on the hill to start to soak some of this up, extend this lead. Spawns are favorable with only 20 seconds left. Going to want to start to push over to P3, that long cross-map rotation. And for NJIT, they're just going to chalk this final time, get their setup in place, really putting a lot of stake into it. We'll see what they've got here, and it's going to be the long route over on the left side by Street for these 3 players.
You saw there as well the Milano being used by one of the Laurentian players. We were talking before we even started casting today about how its recent buffs could turn into it being in the hands of some of these guys, and now we're going to be able to see how it actually holds up against the 74U. Initial cruise missile comes out, doesn't actually find any kills as Laurentian look to push in here towards P3. K1, K2 again getting a duo of kills for themselves, and it's going to be all up to Zebus to try and hold strong. His teammates are rushing off of those respawns, but they will naturally get there just in time. Zebus able to get some big kills as Money G comes around the corner. Obito, the one using that Milano, puts down JT Speed, but the hardpoint stays in favor of NJIT Red, and they try and bring it within 30 points.
Yeah, for Laurentian, you hit those long routes and it might pay off. You get the close spawns, but while you're doing that, you're wasting so much time that NJIT are on the hill soaking it up. They're able to get a solid 30 or so seconds. Now this final 20 will go to Laurentian. They are still going to extend that lead that they've built up. make another rotation. This is when it gets scrappy again. It's hard to soak up a lot of this time. A lot of it has to come down to your assault rifle players looking over the top. K2 finding one to start. Him and his twin brother really red hot out of the gates. Abito also 10-3. Looking good for Laurentian right now, but again, talk about that objective play. It's NJIT who continue to soak up the hill. Money G being the little rat player here trying to continue to soak it up. Finally, some kills come through. Laurentian back onto it.
K1 still has the artillery strike to use whenever he wants to. He is gonna get sent down as now Doomy follows up from inside of the bus. The positioning is fine right now for NJIT. If they can get some contests on, you can start turning the P1, P2 connection into a lot of points. But right now, that won't be worth it just based off of how much score Laurentian is getting for themselves. Out of this first rotation, they have a 60-point lead, and NJIT are very low on their KD. Zabas is at 4 and 10. JT Speed is at 2 and 11. Even Money G is at 6 and 9. They got nothing going for themselves, and they have to find it soon. Laurentian showing why they are right now up in the overall standings.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that they even have 44 points with the way the slaying has been so heavily in favor of LU. Now we get to P1 again. Gonna be scrappy. Gonna be all about these gunfights. Abito trying to work on this streak that's already up to 8. He's got the attack helicopter on. He can't even use that if he gets it, but he's continuing the streak, making 10. He is going to get that attack helicopter. Not even going to be able to use it, but that's just an embarrassing moment right there, I guess, for NJIT to allow him to get that streak. 16-4, putting on for the Milano fans out there, showing them why this gun can be viable in the league.
And it's a kind of awkward moment as Laurentian. You can see the rest of the players have the artillery strike and the cruise missile, but Obito forgets to switch his streaks back, I guess. And now he's just going to have some useless streaks in his pocket all game. He would have a cruise missile if he had it equipped, not going to be the case. And that just puts more pressure on how he uses those artillery strikes. A1 goes down, trying to push in towards Locks, can't quite find it. And now you are seeing NJIT set up for themselves on P2 after getting a little bit of time on P1. You need a really big hold right here, though, to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, this is a huge moment right here. A money hill that you really could use a lot of this time. Zebus up top is going to be in a big spot. Taking these shots from K2 cannot fall, where he realizes that it would put his team in a big stressful moment. Huge to show some support. Actually isn't going to be able to find anything. Finally goes down, but that's a good hold there. Zebus up top in the power position doing what he needs to do. So far, so good for NJIT. This lead's starting to decrease. 30 seconds still to fight over. There's one more hit come through.
This is the final chance to try and make something happen, and that is the worst way you could use that artillery strike, Obito. 2 team kills off of it, but still somehow the site opens up from that. It's mostly because NJIT, they rotated away, but with 20 seconds remaining, that is a lot of time to give over to a team that already has a big lead on you. I raise a bit of an eyebrow at that move, and it'll be interesting to see going forward if they can close this one back up a bit, if those few seconds they didn't fight for end up hurting them.
Yeah, and all these kills that are taking place at the new point have spawned new NJIT out. K2 might not be ready for it here as these players coming from right behind. Oh my, he's going to turn his head at the perfect time. Finds the first kill on a JT Speed. These other players are going to be there as well. Can somebody get on the point here for LU? It feels like they've had control without anybody getting this time. Finally, some kills coming back and forth. The Beto might have had a chance, but he's going to go down as well. Close spawn should favor Laurentian here, though. All 4 are going to spawn up by this book side. They should be able to get back on this point.
And now let's look at the overall result of that early rotation. You give 20 seconds over to Laurentian, and you get nothing over here at P3. They break you pretty quickly. I mean, you haven't lost much on P3. It's been contested or empty nearly the whole time. And now NJIT get a couple big kills. But just like you said, someone had to get on the point through a lot of that time. It was wide open, and there was a lot of points left on the table. Money G trying to do what he can. Finds the drop shot onto one. Can't get the next as K1 finds it around the corner. The early rotation is again there for NJIT, but they have to start turning these into real advantageous situations. They were the first onto P2, they were the first onto P3, now they're the first onto P4, but they're the same distance behind.
Yeah, and it is shocking me at times that these hard points have stayed empty. This is going to be a huge double hit, and a big position for JT Speed is going to go down. This is the hill where your ARs can really shine. These long sight lines, so far, NJIT doing a good job picking up these kills. Got to get someone on the point. Money G goes back there. That's his role to play. They're starting to figure it out a little bit. Slaying start to step up. JT Speed still needs to get things going. And I think if I was going to critique LU, it's, yeah, you're doing a great job slaying it out, but it feels like this game could have been over by now if you had just gotten on the hill a little bit more. These assault rifle players back into their positions, though. They're going to find some more kills. Doomy finally gets on the point. This should be the lead extending here for LU.
NJIT managed to get it back within 60 for a moment, but now extending out of their grasp once more. You got the 20 and 10 for Obita, the 23 and 14 for K1, K2 at 19-11, even Doomy at 17 and 14. Top to bottom, they are positive, and the same for NJIT. All members negative. I know you mentioned that you can still win even if you're getting heavily out-fragged, but that's off of great rotations and being able to hold against a few big pushes by the other team. The problem for NJIT is despite them being to these hills first, they are getting forced off nearly instantly every time through, and you're just never going to gain in on your opponents. The second they started lagging so far behind in score, it made it much, much more difficult to actually get back into the game.
Yeah, you can make your way back in with a slight discrepancy in the kills, but right now it's so heavily favoring Laurentian. I mean, but even still, you're seeing it's only a 50-point game. NJIT are making a living off just getting on the point. The scrappy hill on P1 coming to a close. The big gunfight's going to be number one. K2, he finds it, gets his team to spawn there. As you can see, they should be in a good position here for P2. This could be a big moment for Laurentian to get very close to closing this game out.
It's the first time in a while NJIT have not been the first team onto a hill, so we get to see how good their hold is against Laurentian trying to retake it. They get all the way back up to 158, down 40 points. They are not out of this, but they got to work real quick in here on P2 and get a couple big ones for themselves. K1 in the back of sight, going to re-challenge on a Money G. He can't quite get there, and all of a sudden the point is back wide open. The spawns are slipping over towards NJIT, and we can still have a good game if they find more plays. The problem is how far they let Laurentian get out in front of them. It was a big, big differential that they have been slowly closing throughout this whole game, and now you're starting to see that winner's advantage slip away as Laurentian can just be the first team to rotate across, but as they cross 170 points, NJIT have not given up quite yet.
Yeah, New Jersey's going to make their way right back into this game with 30 seconds left. It's kind of that decision-making time for Laurentian. Do we hit it one more time and risk spawning out, or do we rotate? That's what they're going to do. They're going to rotate, so they give up that final 20 seconds, and with this last 10, it's going to be really, really close now. If NJIT can get this next break on this hill, they have a good opportunity to win this game.
Remember those 20 seconds NJIT gave for their own fast rotation over to P3 earlier? Now it's looking pretty big as they are down 14 against Laurentian. There goes the first drop shot by Money G. He has owned this site earlier, gets the double kill, and it actually goes back over to New Jersey. Bring it to within 10 points. I guess we might have thrown a bit of a caster curse into things, because despite it being a heavy outslaying for Laurentian, NJIT are right back into this game, and Zebus tries to make some big plays. His teammates coming back around. It is a whole fresh map now since this rotation. Gets the contest, just holds on for Money G to come around the backside, and now time slipping away towards the opposite direction. Reload in as Doomy looking to hit a third kill in these last few moments. Turnaround shot almost there onto K1, no, doesn't quite land. JT Speed finds one, would like the second, but both members have to reload as the dance of death continues here over on P3, and we're going to have a single-digit difference on the rotation.
Oh my, we go to one more hill. Zebus did such a good job there at wasting time for his teammates. Good contest to extend this game and keep it close. Now we go back to the street hill, where I'll be honest with you, Morgan, I don't see it ending here unless one of these teams can really get a good foothold here. But these assault rifle players are going to be in big spots. 8 there is going to be ready to set up the pinches. His team comes back to the point. Big gunfights taking place. K1's going to fall. 2 there in favor of New Jersey. The third is not going to happen as Doomy slaying it back in favor. Zebus is going to get him. They're on the point. They're in the lead. This is getting close. And we go down the stretch here.
For the first time in a long time, it's NJIT up now 6 points, but this is some good positioning for Laurentian if they can just survive. Big stick there by Money G to get the post-mortem onto Obito. Right now, Laurentian just trying to hold on to this one, but they might not be able to do it. There's 20 seconds left and only 15 until NJIT can win the game. All of their members are committing. They want to win it right here, right now, as K1 lays down and gets these big contest seconds through. It wasn't enough to close it yet. Now K2 has to try and find himself. He is going to go down. It's all ticking away. Doomy just throwing himself in, but not fast enough. NJIT win map 1 from behind, and it's the 3rd straight game when I've gotten to say that.
I told you at the beginning, you have to be careful. For Laurentian, you so heavily outslay your opponent, but you don't spend enough time in the hill. NJIT prioritize the objective more. That's what pays off for them in the end. Unbelievable stuff. A crazy come from behind win. That P2 to P3 rotation, so huge to not let LU win it there. It goes to that street hill. Your ARs pick up some kills. You really start to heat up down the stretch. And it just goes to show in hardpoint, kills don't matter. Maybe in control you can win it that way, but when it comes to hardpoint, you have to get on the hill. New Jersey do exactly that. They take the underdog win in map 1. I think Laurentian, big learning moment. Sure, you're getting all those kills, but you have to get on the point.
I mean, I'll be honest. I thought you were wrong earlier on. I thought Laurentian had the game in their back pocket. I was like, calm down. They're just holding on. It's not going to be that big of a difference. It became a big difference. They had multiple times where they had sight under their control, and they were more worried about getting that next batch of kills onto NJIT instead of getting the points that were right there in front of them. And you see how it can come down. Great rotations from P1 to P2 to P3. And the most important thing in those entire final moments was the break on P2 the second time through. That's where Laurentian, they were all set up. They were ready to go. NJIT had to show off their gun skills with big kills, and they got there. But actually, as I'm starting to think back about it, there was a big moment that happened there on PT, and it came from Obito, and not in the best way. His double team kill artillery strike. I don't know if NJIT get that break without it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a big moment. And I mean, yeah, I'd say this at the beginning, but it's because it's not the first time I've seen this. Like I said, last night when me and Alan casted Colorado Black and Cal State University of Long Beach, the same scenario took place where Cal State did not win the slaying department. They were still able to win the map, though, because of their rotations, because of their ability to get on the hill and really risk your life more. And we've seen Money G play all season long. That's been his role all year, getting on the point, letting his teammates pick up the kills over the top. And that, again, is what pays off. It's that Doug Sensor Martin mentality. The OBJ is what wins it. I think for Laurentian, you're not too worried because, yeah, obviously the skill is in your favor. You showed that in map 1 with so many players going so heavily positive. But I think you're going to have to make a big adjustment as this series goes on to start to play the objective more. If it goes to a second hard point, I have to think things won't go the same.
And that's going to put a lot of pressure on this second map, the SND, because even if you're the better team, you have that better skill in your gunplay, you go down 2-0, and even a close map, you might win that map 80% of the time, but it only takes that little flip against you to close you out completely. They are back one step, but they can still easily get back into this game. We are going to raid for the SND, and who are you liking?
Yeah, I think that's the problem right now for Laurentian. Sure, you have the gun skill, but these next two modes are not ones that most likely are dependent on that. Like for New Jersey right here, this is a big opportunity to continue to play that methodical, strategic game. Search and destroy one where you can really slow things down, start to play with the IQ in your brain. I think Raid is one, again, where you can do that with so much versatility between the bomb sites. This is a scary moment for Laurentian. They're going to have to turn back up here. And I guess if I was going to have to pick a team, though, I will say I think Laurentian has it in them to retaliate in this map. I think they're going to come back to even up the series. But when it goes to that second hard point, I guess we'll have to see if they can play the objective more.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to keep an eye out on. When you're looking at the SNDs, it is definitely K2 that leads this squad, has the 1.83 SND KD, and obviously K1 right behind him at 1.61. So those guys will continue to be the top two people on the squad of LU Esports. Laurentian plays through the twins of K1 and K2. Opposite of them for NJIT, they honestly don't have anyone going crazy on Search and Destroy other than Locks. It has to be Locks because he has a 1.75. The next closest is a 1.28 for Zebus. That is a big gap. I know when you're thinking about it, you're thinking it's just decimals apart, but it is well different between being at the top of 1 point something and at the bottom of 1 point something. He has to have a good job shutting down these two Ks for Laurentian and give his team a bit of a chance to stay in it. Let those close rounds go wherever they may fall.
Yeah, and some of the most important things that happen in Search and Destroy are the things that we can't see or hear. It's in the team speak, it's in the comms, it's in the communication. At the start of a round, what are we going to do? The IGL, the in-game leader, is really, really important in this game mode. We don't really know what's being said behind the scenes, but those are going to be the conversations that kind of decide this map, especially Raid Search and Destroy. We saw earlier tonight how one team likes to play the middle of the map, use it as a pivot point to go from either site once they get some kills. I really think it'd be nice to see one of these teams get decisive on offense, really go to a practiced setup that they're comfortable with, and then try to exploit the other team's defense. It's really going to be interesting to see. I love Raid Search and Destroy because of all it can offer. We're jumping into things here. We'll see if Laurentian can answer back.
NJIT coming in from the attacking side in a very traditional start to raid SND where you test the B site first. What I like out of Laurentian, though, is the fast run by K1 to take control of the middle of the map, and it seemed like they were ready for it, but already K2, Obito, and K1 all fall. And despite having the perfect defensive setup for a B side rush, they just lose their firefights, and it is a stomping round one.
Yeah, huge teamwork, communication. Probably someone must get the information on K1 pinching through mid and call it out. Money G gets a big two-piece right here. Or maybe he just makes a good oh, he actually takes shots. It's a turn on. Oh, no. K1, that's going to hurt. Money G big-time plays there in round 1 to pick that up, because if he falls there, all of a sudden K1's in from behind. Doomy's still alive. That round could be so much different. But Money G, big-time stuff to find that two-piece. Really wins his team round 1. They'd get it done on offense. Now you go back on defense. Good chance. We'll see what Laurentian have up their sleeves as they go on 0.
Basically the exact same split. The difference is JT Speed is not going to get aggressive as K1 did the last time through. He's going to hold back inside of the kitchen, and it's a 1-for-1 trade to start things off. B-side still held down thanks to Zebus, and as JT Speed gains across, it's going to be a tough take for Laurentian. A big firefight in the middle about to happen, though. Money G versus K1. They could take it, but Money G not going to run through quite yet. It seemed like he was ready to take that cross. He turns back down the stairs, now going to find his moment, and K1 easily gets the timing, knocks him down. 2v1 now for JT Speed, who has had nothing go for himself so far, has the information, knows exactly where they're going to be coming from. And at the A site, how do you play this one? Does not go all the way back through the mansion. Instead, going to run downstairs to get a little bit more into the game. Laurentian is not looking the right direction as he runs all the way around now to clear out mansion. I mean, it's a good play. You don't know where they might have set up, but he unknowingly had such a good start. And not finishing off Obito is really going to hurt. He finds that kill, takes it to a 1v1. You never know what might happen. Now it's a Creek 6 upright. He misses K1 again, and Laurentian are able to finish out a round.
Yeah, and it's a really great move to rotate to A once you get that control, the 2v1. I think for JT Speed there, the only information he really could have used to his advantage is the fact that the bomb was planted towards that side. I think if you're going to play for the pool mansion, you usually plant the bomb towards that way. So maybe something he could have picked up on. Either way, though, it's the more likely that they're going to be up in the pool mansion. You have to clear that out first, and with the Krig, those close gunfights weren't going to be easy. I think overall, it's just a really good round for Laurentian, taking advantage of the rotation over to A. That's what helps them get it done. Now they tie things up.
Full control of the middle of the map now for Laurentian. You got 3 players pushing in and trying to pinch back over towards the B site. And by not giving up early kills now, NJIT is going to have a bit of a tougher take. Laurentian rotate 1 man back, but they are waiting for their opponents to make this first move. And the man with the ball on JT Speed might be the guy that ends up being the point of contact.
Locks, that's a huge first blood. And these 2 players are hanging out in art, just waiting for K1 to make his move. They're really playing for this rotation. It's going to be number 4 and Locks, who's just watching this doorway. But K1, just as patient, waiting it out. The players over by B have gained some control with that first blood. If they find one more, that's probably going to be their opportunity to plant the bomb. Number 6 rotating over to try to be some support. But K1 knows he's the one who has to make the first play. Here he goes with his pinch. He goes down to Locks. That's going to really put NJIT in a good position. Only 2 players left for Laurentian. This nade should be good onto Obito. Only 1 guy left in K2. Probably not going to happen.
K2 is a good player, and that Semtex opens things up a lot. 1v3, much better. Now he wants the feet of Locks, but they spot him out, and good teamwork by NJIT, covering their teammate and putting the timer back on K2's shoulders. The final shots land, and NJIT go up 2-1. If they're the better search team and they pick up this map, that is going to be a very heavy burden that LU will have to wear. You would love to see both K1 and K2 heat up a bit more. The attacking sides are getting traded. It's going to be whoever wins defense first that might take this game home.
Yeah, just really methodical right now for New Jersey. I like the way they get first blood and don't take it as a moment to push up and overextend and be too aggressive. They still play patiently. They wait for K1 to try to come around on the pinch. They pick up that kill. Then it becomes a 4v2. Now, okay, it's time to maybe work a plant. They pick up those final kills. Really great stuff. I will say, even if they get this search and destroy, I don't want to count Laurentian out just yet. So get into this next round. K1 trying to make a big play to start. First is good. Can't get the trade, but his twin brother there is going to get the second onto Zebus. Really big opening here for LU to get this bomb down.
Now a lot of pressure onto JT Speed. You have Overwatch over the center. Try and find a kill with it, but I see the bullets light up. Nothing on the kill feed. Money G is found out as well, so those should be the last two members of NJIT. I swear I can do all of these acronyms. They are found out. They know where they're going to be coming from, and Laurentian just have to hold strong here with 26 seconds left on the timer.
Yeah, New Jersey have to play this buddy system and work together as a team here. You know that it's going to be difficult. Money G trying to look over the top to find some information. He's going to go down all up to JT Speed, who gets some shots into Obito. But it's probably not going to be enough. Obito just wasting time. Only 10 seconds left. It won't happen. Laurentian, really good answer there to draw things 2-2. You mentioned it. The Twins have to heat up. At the start of that round, K1 takes it upon himself to make the aggressive play. Draws first blood. Lets his twin brother get the second kill. Really good stuff out of the Twins, starting to find themselves in the search and destroy.
And it puts so much pressure on each attacking round now that you trade out, because if NJIT lose this, they know that they have lost their little advantage of going back and forth, of winning that first round. And so it starts to get into your head, especially the deeper that this pattern goes. Every single time they go 1-for-1 from the attacking side, you get more and more worried about it. Laurentian are going to go for that middle play on the defense, and this time K1 and K2 turn them into kills. It's a 2-for-1 to kick it off, and K1 out from the window, able to crush things, if not for Zebus. The 3-kill answer by NJIT, and Doomy is all of a sudden left all alone in the 2v1. Definitely clutchable. Money G gonna get that information, and Zebus just finishes it off. Aggressive re-challenge. You know that you were up a man. You know where the last guy is standing. Just play it safe and finish it out well.
Another huge two-piece from Money G there. That's the second time he's done that to bring it around back in his team's favor. Doomy's just going to re-challenge you through the pillars, and both these players are ready for it. The shots on the Zebus are good. Off the head glitch. Now Money G is going to push up into top of laundry. He takes some shots. He must be so hurt. Doomy, the trophy's going to get the block. He has to reload. Now he pushes up with the time winding down. Has to make the move here onto Money G. But Money G is just going to play the clock. Now he's coming through for the check. He might think he's defusing. Perfect timing for Money G. And it's another big round out of him. Finding 3 kills, but really at the beginning there, the two-piece. I think we're going to see it in this kill cam. This is huge. After K1 and K2 get the first 2 kills, he answers back with a 2-piece of his own, brings it back in favor of his team. That's twice now that Money G's done that. Massive plays.
And when that first kill of the 2v1 went down, I started to really get worried for NJIT. You had control of the site and knew where the last guy was. If you're Doomy, had so many chances to finish off the kill onto Zebus. A lot of damage done. One more wallbang bullet could have switched that round, but he doesn't quite find it. And the aggressive challenge at the end is enough to seal it. Now it all goes back over to Laurentian. They are the ones that have to continue winning from this attacking side. Get back to that tied state to try and take things. And NJIT are going to play back. They're going to play slow, and they're going to have to try and retake by A.
I really like this setup. Obito with the first kill is going to be huge. You still have K2 watching the wide flank over near the spawn. That first blood's going to be massive. This is a big gunfight. Locks, that's such a big win. Now he opens things up on the back end. A lot for LU to be worried about. Number 7's going to have to turn around. K1's forced to defend the bomb by himself. Still, only 2 players alive for NJIT, but Locks, that's such a big kill.
16 seconds remaining. Your guy around the backside will be Locks, and he falls. Laurentian clean it up and get to play from the defensive side once more. These teams just even back and forth, but the attacking side victories from Laurentian, the last couple have been very dominant. They have 3 surviving members. They are coming through looking clean. It's going to be a tough thing for NJIT to pick up that defensive round and really start to seal this game.
Yeah, that was definitely a practice setup that I was looking for at the start. Really good stuff from LU. One that they knew they could bank on when they needed a round. Anytime you're going over to A, I definitely like the rush plant. There's so many different ways you can set up that are going to be effective. That was just one of them. Now, as we switch sides, it's been all B for NJIT. See if they change things up. They might have thought about A for a second. They are going to go back to B.
JT Speed, I think, thought there, or actually was... Yeah, JT Speed thought they were going to A. He turned things around like, oh, sorry, guys, I'll come back. Still see Obito using that Milano in a bit slower rate of fire, but high damage behind each bullet as he's able to melt through Money G quickly. Man advantage goes over to Laurentian as they try to close out the first defensive round of the game. Zebus gets more information on who is inside of ring, but it's so much tougher to break in once you are a man down on attack. You want to have to trade those members out and effectively take the site instead of having someone taken for nothing, and now you're just completely lost your momentum. it'll be a very tough going from this point onward.
Yeah, that first kill has completely slowed things down, and I like decisiveness, but if it's not working out, you can still rotate to the other bomb. It is there. 30 seconds left. It's really starting to close down on that opportunity. And all the control over here by the ring is in favor of Laurentian. You don't have anywhere to go. You're trapped inside of Art. Zeeb's finally going to get some shots as K1 kind of overextends, but Obito's there to support him. It's not looking good. The clock winding down. Finally, the fight has to come through. You have to make your move. Laurentian, good stuff on defense to find first blood and then just sit back, force NJIT to come to you. They go up 4-3, and Obito, I see what you're doing there. The Dorito on the gun. So Obito, Dorito. Okay, I get it.
Makes me hungry. After 3 straight games of casting, I would destroy a bag of Doritos at this point. As Laurentian, that's a big thing because NJIT, they were good with trading out rounds. You win the first round, just keep going back and forth until the end. You win it in round 11. Now you have to win 2 straight at some point to get back into things, and that is a difficult proposition against how good the attacking side of Laurentian has been. They are so fast onto these sites as K1 headshots locks. Doomy gets the next one onto Zeebus. Is this where it all starts to fall apart? Laurentian already up 4 versus 2. They are going to get the plant by B, and Money G, JT Speed have to find a way back into this. I hate to say it. JT Speed is not the guy you want alive at this point for NJIT, but finally onto the board. Maybe he will be able to find something deep in that bag of tricks.
Yeah, it's a good start there as they were kind of separated. Now they're going to come together and try to work this as a team. Money G creeping forward. It looks like Doomy's going to lay eyes there. JT Speed finding a second kill. Now all of a sudden a 2v2. Still have some time to work with, but you got to get these last kills in quick succession. Doomy's going to find Money G. Speed pushes up and finds one. Last player in Obito here just playing the check, and he should be able to do that at just 7 seconds. That's when you go out and make your peak. Don't give him an opportunity to win the round. Perfectly played from Obito, and really that life advantage comes up huge in the end.
Very big, and when it comes down to the 1v1, the time starts being that big issue, as you said. JT Speed did such good, finally getting onto the board. 3 kills in the round, but he needed 4 and to defuse to be able to win it all, and it is just too little too late. Now 3 straight rounds going to Laurentian, and just so much pressure onto NJIT. If they manage to win this map, that could have been the seal for them to take this one home and beat the Overdog squad. But now if things get tied up 1-1, it is still a rough-looking game for them.
Yeah, Laurentian, although they let map 1 slide, they're still the favorite team in this matchup. Don't want to let this one go away from you if you're NJIT. It's a big opportunity as JT Speed's going to take some shots. They finally switch things up and go over to A. He is going to play his life, though, and he's going to have an opportunity to plant this bomb. Just barely has to poke his nose out, but he's got players watching over with the assault rifles. The pinch is really going to be key, and it's good timing for Zeebus. He gets that kill onto Obito. Really good start. Finds a second as well onto Doomy. All of a sudden, this looks like a great round for New Jersey.
Perfect round for New Jersey. As you say, K2 still alive. Going to try and find it. It is the Twins still up, so they might have that little bit of twin telepathy if they can spot him, but already one goes down. Money G finds it. K2 now has to work one at a time, but he can only find the first. NJIT stay up from the attacking side, but it's still the big issue. Can you win on defense? They have shown no signs of stopping this aggression that Laurentian bring towards them. You have to adjust at some point, and I wonder if this is the time that Laurentian will finally hit him with a curveball and go over towards Pool.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for Laurentian last time, and I was just getting ready to say that. I think for Laurentian, this is the opportunity to just get aggressive, put your foot down, and try to close it out here. Don't get cute with it at all. Just go ahead and slam it right down their throat. See what they decide to do. That seems to be the game plan. Go right to B, win these gunfights like you know you're capable of doing. For NJIT, it's a matter of being there at the right time. A couple players are going to try to pinch through pillars, but the AR on the top goes down.
The shots don't quite land for Money G. Needed the trade to even things back up, so now Zeebus has a lot of pressure onto him. K1 and K2 about to double peek him up inside of the window. K1 first clearing out the left side. Now here it comes. Just no chances. Zeebus looking the wrong way, and it's a 4v2. JT Speed, I mean, he got 3 kills the last time they were in this exact same situation. Maybe now he'll be able to close it out, but a much better job by Doomy keeping an eye out for this flanker as Money G goes around towards the opposite side. K2 spot spots him out first. It's going to be the 2v1 as he gets mixed up between both members and just never a chance. JT Speed, first headshot onto Obito. Now he is going to get pinched up and has a time limit to work off of. Around to the right side, that's where K2 waits. K1 towards his left. There goes the second. The MP5 in hand all of a sudden. He doesn't know there's a man still behind him. And with 16 seconds remaining, he'll have to find one of them out. Laurentian won't even give him the chance. And well played by LU. They come from behind. They win 3 straight. And then they find the last round to close it out. They tie things up 1-1 on the map count.
Bringing the IRL sports to the cyber scene, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Right down the middle of the lane, the Kilgannon brothers dunk it in the final round. Just the all-out balls to the wall move to go straight to B, win your gunfights, and close it out there. Really feels like for New Jersey, without winning that search and destroy, that makes this series so much more difficult because you know you're going to have to play at least another respawn mode in that second hard point. I don't feel like Laurentian will let that one slide again, so makes this control really important, but I mean, I think for Laurentian, if it goes to game 5, even then you have to be comfortable. It's just a huge answer there in map 2 after losing map 1. The Kilgannon brothers starting to heat up. Got to be scared a little bit if you're New Jersey.
At some point, New Jersey needs to find another steal. And now that they lost that SND, where it really felt like it was still Laurentian kind of in the driver's seat, even when they were trading back and forth, just their attack was so much stronger than NJIT's. They're not going to be a pushover on search and destroy. So you might actually have to steal away 2 rounds. The control has the life totals, which makes slaying mean so much. The hard point, even though you managed to sneak one away the first time, that is not going to happen every single time, especially when you're getting beaten on those kills so badly. And then the other SND, you've already lost one. What is to say the second will be any different? So that would have been a great thing to take for yourself. Be up 2-0, have 3 maps to kind of think about things, try and get back into it. Instead, they are playing from even, and I am right there with you. I think NJIT are in trouble. For right now, though, we are going to send things to a very quick break between the next 2 maps. When we get back, we're going to be heading over to the control, and it is going to be on Checkmate on the plane. So stick around. It is a fight for a qualifier bye between Laurentian University and NJIT. CCL Bravo will be right back. Tell us when we're live. And we might be live. We're live. Okay, we're live. Here we go. NJIT Red versus Laurentian as we come in here. Map number 3 on the control. And it's Checkmate to try and keep things going. Laurentian are able to answer back after slipping away on map 1, tie the map count back up 1-1, and now is their chance to really take control of this matchup. K1 and K2 from Laurentian there on the attacking side as they're going to be trying to take up this A site first.
Yeah, this to me feels like a must-win for New Jersey just because I don't know that you can win a second hard point against Laurentian. That felt like a fluke in map 1. 4 straight kills in the feed, though, as I believe the teams are actually going to be switched in our HUD at the top. Just something to keep track of. So it's actually Laurentian on the left, or maybe it's just for me. I don't know. Maybe
it is Laurentian in the top left, NJIT in the top right, as it is Laurentian definitely coming in on the attacking side. Got that first out of control on A. They got team wiped there for a second by NJIT. Trying to fight back now as they push through. Money G gets tagged up heavily by K1 up on the top side of the plane. And for NJIT right now, these defensive rounds are must-wins to stay in it.
Yeah, I really need to. And this is a huge moment right here to capture A early into the round. Exactly what you want to do on offense. Big play for Money G there to come through at the final moment. Get that kill, but K2 is still soaking it up. Final tick's going to come through. That's huge to extend the round. Live's still pretty even. Rather than go to B, you're going to see here the team in white on your minimap are going to force up to try to grab more map control, and it's K2 to start.
Here we go, moving in towards the east side. Up in the top side of plane, that's going to be a big shot by K1 to knock down Money G. Holding top plane control is really where you start to work from top to bottom here over on the B side. All the members of Laurentian get sent back to their respawns. Going to try and group up right now as K1 just holds the front. Tagged up heavily by the Semtex, but re-challenges onto Zebus and wins a super low health fight. Now that's going to open things up underneath, and this might be the opening Laurentian needs to start getting some control.
so massive to be holding down the top of the plane. Money G is going to make a big kill happen there. Now has to focus back on Obito, who's in his spawn. K2 is also hitting the flank. This isn't going to be expected. Shots into Money G will tag him up, but he's unable to get that kill. Instead, he's going to try to reposition Money G. A great move there to re-challenge and get that kill. Just trying to get these players out of your spawn is going to be so huge. That's step one, as Obito is still there. He's climbing up here. JT is going to be the next one in line. Big kill again to get these players out of your spawn. Now you can kind of start to set up your defense. These players getting on to B, though. They're starting to get some progress together. Kind of back to square one, though. Both teams coming off spawn.
That flank, though, did what it needed. One tab control locked in, and that is how you do it on checkmate. On B, you get it one at a time. It is not the site that you can just get one big break and cap the whole thing top to bottom. It is a slow, grinding site, and that's why the live differential starts to be such a big issue. Right now, Laurentian up on lives by 5. It is everyone's last respawn now on NJIT, and they got to make them count. Pushing in. There goes Lox to kick things off with the shots on the K1. Zebus gets the second one onto Doobie. That's 3 straight, and all of a sudden it's only a 2 life difference. We have seen comeback after comeback on this map before, and here it comes. Money G with a lot of pressure to get at least 1 kill here. Around the corner he comes. K1 just dunks on him, though, but Zebus is immediately there for the trade. 1 life differential, and the timer running out, so Obito has to rush on. JT Speed needs this kill, just needs to find him, knock him off. Maybe they'll be able to find the timer, but no, holding it in the final moments. Laurentian come out on top, and they are now up 1-0.
Caught a little sketchy there down the stretch. I thought for a second New Jersey might do it, but yeah, you get that life advantage. You stack the point, which forces the defense to come up and try to clean up those kills. That gives you another opportunity to find more kills onto them. Really good stuff, really good map management, I would say, just to get on the point and force them towards you to just kind of run into those gunfights, run into your gunfire. It's a big job winning offense in round 1. That's going to put you with such a big leg up. Now we flip things around, and we kind of have to focus on the kills a little bit, but it's pretty heavily in favor of Laurentian to start if it's going to go to a round 5. But after you win offense, it doesn't have to go there anymore. Just win your next 2 defenses, trade them out, you should be in a good spot.
It's not too bad, though. It's only a 3 life difference, so if NJIT can get their own very big attacking side, maybe, just maybe, they can get that defensive side back in their favor for round number 5, but you got to get there first, and with K1 playing like he is right now, that is not going to be an easy task. 10-6, the best kills and KD in the lobby so far, and he's looking for more, hunting in towards these respawns, in for the spawn trap against NJIT.
Yeah, that's going to be a big fear. You do not want to see anybody right now for Laurentian in your spawn trying to trap you, because that's just going to make it so much more difficult to push out. Big job getting the kill onto K1. Doomy, though, still in from behind. He's going to be the thorn in your side as he tries to play more spawn kills. These players are getting on the B, though. They're finding some progress. The triple stack coming through. They get that kill onto K1, a turn on from Zebus, and they're going to continue this progress. Now Obito tries to make the same play as he drops down. Finds the first. The second onto Zebus is good. This Milano has been so red hot for Obito all night long. He's got those nacho cheese spiced Doritos as well on the side of his gun.
Was about 1 second too slow, and the second tab control on B comes through. So now for NJIT, if you cap up A, you have a very easy B moving forward, but that is a big if. You have to find some progress on one of these sites with only 24 seconds remaining. You are running out of pushes. You're running out of times to try for it. It seems like they will still be focusing over here on the bottom side, but in goes the first man towards that A portion of the map. They have some cover for him as well, moving slowly on the control with only 1 guy on site, but always this threat of capping up B at the same time.
Yeah, you're really putting a lot of emphasis on B. That's a risky move right here, but now you have to get it in the final stages if you want to extend this round. 1 tick of progress is all you need. A couple players starting to get it through. Lox is going to find that kill. Obito and Doobie, though, are there to clean things up. Huge plays out of them. It looks like this round might not extend, but there is a player at A keeping things alive for the time being.
Now they're going to have 2 tabs of control on both sides, and Lox needs to find the big shots onto K2 to try and stay alive and keep things going for himself. What is working at this point for NJIT is they've split things up, and the A side gets capped. That completely flips the feel of this game. You have an extra minute to play with. You are up by lives by 1, and you only need 1 tab of control over by B. It takes 1 good push, a single break, and this game can be over, and that might have been it. Money G gets the kill onto Obito. They are halfway, or really about a third of the way through that last tab of control, and he is just waiting for his teammates to come provide him a little support.
Yeah, if you can just find a couple kills, you get on the point, and that stack shouldn't take very long as this player is going to be there. K1's going to be in a big spot. He has to make a move soon. He pushes up on a Money G. First kill good. Second on a Zebus won't happen. That might just be all that NJIT needed, but K2 is still in this huge power position over by the second hard point. Now he's going to start to play some spawns to slow down this push off for Laurentian, and it's not easy just yet. Laurentian, they're playing this defense so well. K2 is basting out.
Everything going their way in the final moments. K2 got the flank when he needed it most, but there comes a big kill to answer. Right now, you still have a chance. You have your team remaining, but it is one final opportunity. There come 2 kills for themselves. 5v4 on the lives with 20 seconds ticking down. Every single win condition is still available. It just depends how these teams decide to play it. JT Speed looking for the peek around the right side, and he gets it onto Obito. That is massive. We are left on even lives, and here comes K1. Gets the first 3v3 now underneath. Another trade between the two, and it is JT Speed trying to finish it off. He leaves the site, though, ends up getting taken down, and Laurentian just managed to survive on defense.
Yeah, this kill cam is going to show you exactly why they win this round. K2 in this spot was so big. He finds like 4 or 5 kills to slow down the push-off spawn. It's just enough to kind of give his team that extra time so they can grab more map control, make it so much more difficult on the offense. This K2 is just ridiculous with the Krig. He's using the 74U as well. This guy's multi-versatile. Big time stuff. You win the offense, you win the defense. Now you go back. And a closeout round here. Back against the wall if you're New Jersey.
That was so close in every single way you can win a control. The B site was about 2 seconds away from getting capped up. There was about 2 seconds left on the timer, and it was a 2v1. Just so difficult to close out those situations because you don't get in them very often, where every single thing is still open and every choice can be the make or break difference. It ends up being Laurentian coming out on top, and now NJIT down 2, or not down 2 maps. I still forget that they managed to close out that first one, but they are tied up. They are down 2 rounds at this point and would love to try and shut down this momentum that Laurentian is building against them.
We've seen so many times tonight how A is the easier of the 2 points to capture. That's where they're going to go first if you're Laurentian on offense. Still got one player there in Obito who's getting that first stick of progress. K1 just trying to watch over him here and find some kills on the other side. Doomy's getting those ones. They're getting on B now at the same time. Kind of split focus right now. Makes the defense have to guess and keep having to pivot back and forth. The A zone's going to get stopped, but Doomy's headed back there as well, so it's still going to be this split push. Doomy with a huge 2-piece. They're going to be able to get onto A.
That could be everything right now, as all of a sudden NJIT are sent back into their respawns. They have lost 2 tabs of control on A. They still have that bit of progress they have to focus on clearing out by B, and it could just be the site gone. Focusing on that B defense, it's a risky play, but it's something we see a lot of teams do here on Checkmate. It is you have no chance of getting back on A. It's just going to waste yourself some lives, so trust yourself and try and win off of lives here holding on to B.
Yeah, for NJIT, it's going to be important to try to maintain the top of the plane control. K1 was up there. He's going to go down to Zebus. Zebus now making it a 2-piece as he continues to push forward. He's not going to be able to get that one on the K2. Big opportunity to trade back with a 2-piece of his own. Instead, Money G gets it. And again, the top of the plane really so important on B. Like you say, Morgan, you can fall down onto the point and kind of catch these players off guard. It's Doomy up here now. Somebody has to come up there to challenge. He's going to take some shots. Low health. JT Speed gets that kill, but another one in line. He makes it a 2-piece. That's huge right there for the defense. Makes things so much more difficult on the attackers.
All of a sudden, you're seeing the kill feed light up for NJIT. They're staying in this one, and they retake the lead there for a moment on lives. Back and forth, it continues to fly between the two sides as no one's been able to really close out these final moments of the checkmate. Sometimes you see teams really on the defensive side lock down here on B, close it out, but even Laurentian weren't able to do that. People are starting to figure out how to play this second site, and it puts so much more pressure on the players to close things. K2 is leading the entire lobby, 22-15, but can he get his team to a clean sweep victory here on map number 3 as time hits 40 seconds and the lives start to hit the single digits?
Yeah, it's just so difficult to capture this point with all the different ways the defense can make it happen. You can be up top in the plane to fall down. You can get that crossfire from over by P2 that we saw K2 doing in the last round. Right now, they're trying to play this map control, trying to play some spawn kills, push up a little bit. That could be huge to buy your team some time over by the point, but you look at things on the minimap, New Jersey still have control of the top of the plane. That's not going to give any opening right now for the offense.
K1 in the backside of things, though, gonna make it hard to get off these respawns and drawing a lot of attention. There goes 2 kills, gonna rush out, but his teammate ready to follow it up. It is K2 there in the perfect moment, and now you start capping up 5B. Give yourself some time with these lives. 5v4, how many have we seen today of close rounds in the control, and we have another in front of us. Albedo and K1 get 2 big kills. All of a sudden, is NJIT on the back foot, and Money G is out of the round. They answer with a big kill onto Doomy. K1 is there onto see this 3v2 with Laurentian ahead. It's the 3v1. It is locks against the world as the zone is starting to get capped up. All he needs is the timer, but will not be able to find it. And NJIT come through in 3 close rounds on the control.
Oh my, another round where it doesn't feel like they have any business winning it. In the final moments, they're able to force it into a 4v4. When you get on the point, forces the defense to run up to try to find those kills. Sherlock is able to find a couple here. Just not enough in the end. Really great stuff there from Laurentian. We had to figure that would happen, right? They were going to retaliate. They must be frustrated after losing map 1 because they come out in the search and destroy, pretty dominating there. And then in the control, 3 straight rounds. It's exactly what they were looking for. Now they go back to hardpoint where they really get their chance at redemption. You have to think they're going to close it out in this second one.
Yeah, something really clicked halfway through that search and destroy where it seems like Laurentian have just woken up, like they are going to continue to steamroll. And that's really worrying if you are on NJIT because of how close that first hardpoint was. And if Laurentian are mad about losing it, I do not expect them to be going easy here over on the Checkmate. Checkmate hardpoint for map number 4. And we have seen some big comebacks on this map. We have seen it go back and forth. It is a very balanced hardpoint. And then at any point, someone can make that play and string together a few hills, similar to Garrison, where you're never truly out of it if you can just find that one moment. I think it is going to be a struggle, but what are you looking for these two teams to do breaking out at the very start of the map?
Yeah, I think for Laurentian, in comparison to the first hard point, obviously they won the slaying battle. They were getting all the kills, but they just weren't getting on the point to soak up that objective time. So we'll have to see a shift there. I have to think they learned from their mistakes in map 1. I think for New Jersey, though, it's going to be the same thing. You have to play that grinded out mentality where you're the ones just soaking up the time, playing those trades on the hill. And also, you have to be thinking one step ahead with your rotations. P2, obviously, the money hill that you have to think about. And then that string of hills from 4 to 5 are really, really important as well. Really going to have to manage the map well if you're New Jersey because you know the slaying is in your opponent's favor. But again, I think it's what we're talking about right now. It's just it's revenge time for Laurentian after losing map 1. I don't think they're going to let another hard point slide. It's going to be tough for New Jersey, but we'll see if they can do it.
If New Jersey does manage to do it, we'll be heading to Moscow on the second search, and you never know what may happen. But right now, they're definitely playing an uphill battle. They're trying to drag down these Goliaths of Laurentian Esports and get themselves that first round bye in the qualifiers. I guess it's just such a tough thing at this point to say what may happen because of how unexpected the initial hardpoint was. Obviously, NJIT is a smart team. Obviously, they know how to rotate. They know how to work these hills, even if their kills are not really coming at the rate they would like. But still, it is just such a difficult thing to push through on. I think what I have to say is NJIT should be looking for an early lead and to hold on to it. Don't force yourself to have to play from behind with this style of rotations in early and out early. This is the type of thing where you want to have just that little bit of a lead that you hold on to throughout the entire game. And that's going to be a lot of pressure onto Money G because, as you said, he is the guy that racks up that time.
Yeah, they really played from behind in that Moscow. And that's the unfortunate thing for New Jersey is that Moscow, that spaced out kind of map with only 4 hills. It's really kind of unpredictable. It allows that opportunity to win it without getting kills. Checkmate is a whole different story. It's all about the slaying power, and it's about these power positions in the top of the plane. Your assault rifle players getting set up and watching over your submachine guns, and we know what K1 and K2 are capable of, kind of that SMG AR tandem, if you will. It's not going to make things easy on New Jersey. Again, it's going to be down to the rotations, down to the team play, the small talk, the communication is going to be huge, making sure you know what the guy next to you is doing off spawn. But you're also going to have to get a lot of big kills because Laurentian are the team with that slaying power in their back pocket. I think you're right, though, Morgan. It's going to come down to, as well, a big opening for New Jersey. You've got to come out of the gates hot. Don't want to fall too far behind. I think if you can keep yourself in the game, at least you give yourself a chance. That's what they did in map 1. They kind of just hung around, and then in the final moments, they swooped in to get that crazy win. So if they can do that again here, just kind of hang around till the very end, that should give them a chance to get another upset.
Let me ask you this. How have you been feeling about that Milano that Obito is using? Do you think that's about to be new meta, at least for a little bit?
I do. I like it because I think the problem that a lot of people had with the 74U is just maybe too much range. It doesn't play as necessarily like a submachine gun, where with the Milano it has that quicker ADS and everything, but it doesn't necessarily have that kind of power behind it. It almost feels more like a submachine gun. So I think in that sense, yes, I do like the change, but I think for the pros and the submachine gun players, they don't want to give up their baby, their AK-74U, so they're going to do anything they can to make sure that that stays in the meta.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out. You might see it come through for a couple weeks, but I wouldn't keep my hopes on it being a mainstay in the meta. Instead, you're going to see K1's name light up with those 74U logos right next to it as Laurentian come in early here to get some control on P1. But it's a tactical play by NJIT. They're sending JT Speed all the way around the backside. He is the route man fighting for those spawns over by P2, and the first kill is really big, forcing Doomy all the way over to the top left side of the map.
Yeah, he's going to get that kill, and if you see him on the minimap, he's not going to move from that back corner. He is just going to play hide and seek, and the one trying to seek right now is Obito and company, number 5, coming to show some support as well. They know that this kill is huge to get these spawns. They're able to do it. It was a good try for JT Speed, but in the end, the cat and mouse game doesn't work out for him. Laurentian get a solid amount of time on P1, and they have the spawns for P2. This looks like an opportunity to build an early lead.
That's the thing. You have JT Speed back there in the corner, drawing 2 members to rotate around to get him out of there. The rest of NJIT never even passed the halfway point in the map. They never got in to provide support to their teammate. They didn't challenge onto P1 to at least get a little bit of time there. And you cannot let opportunities like that slip by. You don't often have someone get all the way behind the enemy team to try and pinch in on them and take away their spawns. Whenever you do get that opportunity, you need to make the most of it. And JT Speed continues to try and play above and beyond his usual. He's dragging his team back into this game.
Yeah, huge kills from JT. It's going to get the spawns there. Maybe a little late, but still a solid 25 or so seconds. Going to go back to New Jersey, a chance to get back into this game. And Laurentian not willing to give this up just yet. Obito's still going to challenge for it. He's going to go down. So now a 2-kill streak starts to form for Money G. JT does fall after all, but we make another rotation to P3. It's when it gets scrappy. Really kind of starting to play for these spawns by Wood, too, as it gets into that string I'm talking about with 4 and 5. Either way, I think both these teams are just going to be piling onto the hill right here and trading it out.
This is where it can be NJIT turning things back in their favor. And I mean, again, you're seeing it. They're not out of this game. They were all of a sudden back to within 15 points, hunting for even single digits. And Laurentian struggling to get out of their spawns at the moment, have completely lost that early lead they fought for. So at any moment, things can come back, and NJIT do not need to be out slaying every single member of Laurentian to keep a chance in this game. We get tied up at 61 apiece. They're continuing to extend it. NJIT taking a lead with 20 seconds left, and they'll actually be the first ones onto P4 as well with that.
Yeah, they've just been soaking up this time. Like, if you're not going to challenge us, we'll just stay here on the hill and continue to soak it up. Now they go back into the lead, up by 15 points. Rotation to P4 is going to be huge, though. The spawns, you want to keep them by Wood, I think. And that's exactly what Laurentian are doing. They're going to have a little bit of a pinch set up. That big kill from K1 is going to let him onto the point for initial time. All of a sudden, now NJIT are on the back foot. They're going to be trying to make a break. Power positions kind of going for both teams right now, but I think the spawn's favoring Laurentian.
Those 2 kills are massive for Laurentian. They completely wipe out any presence of NJIT near them on the map. I mean, look where the white arrows are popping up. They are all over to that far right side. This is just free time, tick, tick, ticking away for LU. Obito has a chance to knock down any form of flank, but that kill could open up the P5 spawns for NJIT if they are able to cross a wide open gap in the map. Doomy is going to be the one guy holding it off, essentially the 1v3, just wasting time. It goes in favor of NJIT. So now down 25 points. They are where they need to be going into the next hill and are still trying to hold off into this one.
Yeah, not so good on P4, but you're right. That's what you wanted to do, a high IQ play to flip the spawns out. Now you see where that lock shows up. The next hard point going to be there for New Jersey. They're going to have the close spawns as well. What kind of setup do they have now? As you see the push starting to come through for Laurentian, they're going to go up this right side and try to make something happen. Big opening for K2. The shot's just so solid, up to 8 and 4. Still, though, can Zebus be the next guy up to slow this push?
Zebus gets the first one down onto Doomy, and then there's a gift right in front of you that Money G steals out from under him. NJIT have had good time. They've had a much better job holding these hills in the early moments right now. Getting off of the site there for a second each tick is going to mean a lot. We saw how close the first map came down to, only a 7-point difference, or a 20-point difference between the two squads. So you want to get every little bit that you can, and Zebus continues to have a good life for himself. 3 kills thus far, trying to find the 4th onto Obito. Gets there as well. Why not make it 5 onto Doomy? It's not quite there, but the lead is back in for NJIT, trading it with Laurentian back and forth.
This is a great job here to get your rotations, the spawns. You make use of it too. You don't let Laurentian come back and break you. Now you go back in the lead. You're up by 30. We get to this next rotation. It's, again, going to be really, really important, not only to find some time on P1, but to get the spawns for P2. Laurentian are going to have him right now. How can you make a play happen like JT Speed tried to do at the start of the game? Big kills, though, for the blue team. They're going to get onto this point to contest. If they find that last kill, they're going to soak up some time. This is going to be an opportunity for them to find their way back into this one as these teams continue to trade blows. JT and his teammate are going to get a huge spawn.
Fox did a lot of good work contesting there, though. Even though 3 members of Laurentian were inside the plane, they did not get time for a good 15 seconds thanks to him. And now again, they're off of it hunting for spawns. So plane is wide open. No one was sitting inside of P1, and that only favors the team in the lead right now, which is still NJIT. They take the right side spawns, are at a risk of losing them if they don't move back up towards the top side of the map, but everything is going their direction. It just depends on if they can hold on to it. Laurentian are no longer really dominating in the kills as much as they did in map 1. They're still obviously overwhelmingly positive as a team, but it is not game-changing with the way that their guns were on the first map. Money G's big kill right there, able to knock down one, but K1 immediately trades it back, and now Laurentian busted over to the P2 side.
Yeah, it didn't take him very long. Only like 5 seconds of that hill popping. They're able to get the breakthrough. Now they're going to be the ones set up. This is big for Laurentian as they make their way back into this game. So difficult to get to this point if you don't have the spawns. You have to cross over there by that yellow crate. And you got K2 starting to move up. That's only going to force the spawns deeper. Really high IQ stuff right here from Laurentian. Starting to put things together and make their way back in this one. 25 seconds left on this hill is going to be good enough to regain the lead. Huge stuff to get that break early on.
Let's remember, NJIT worked down real bad the last time we were on P2. This is a better situation for them, and with P3, P4, P5 coming up, they just need to do as well as they did on the last rotation, and they'll be in a fine position. The problem was they had a massive P3, and that's not something you can count on every day of the week as Ring Around the Rosie go Doomy and Locks back and forth. Doomy ends up being the one winning it, but JT instantly trades it on back. This is where NJIT need to make a lot of their score, have a solid P3 again, and then you can not have to worry about P4 as much if Laurentian get a good rotation.
Yeah, last time around for Laurentian, it felt like you almost fell asleep at the wheel and just let them get that time without challenging it. I think they're making an adjustment here, starting to put more players on the hill, finding the kills. Trades are good. Obito with the gun punch. Zebus is going to be the last guy up to try to make something happen. They seek him out and get that kill as well. Now Laurentian flipping it on their head. They're going to try to find some time on P3. I like the play for a second there for New Jersey to just go ahead and push through to try to focus spawns. Instead, they're going to find some kills. That's an opportunity to get back on the hill yourselves. Going to be almost at a dead tie again as we rotate to P4.
Hey, listen, playing for spawns, getting in towards that backside, it can mean a lot, but you're always guaranteed kills and time. That'll move yourself closer to a victory. Sometimes the big brain play for a rotation might not pay off, but right now NJIT are able to retake that lead as Locke just sits down and waits for this time to tick in favor of his squad. 200 points nearly there for NJIT. They're gonna find it, not quite, on 199. They will get stuck up as Laurentian fight their way back into this one, close through the final moments and much more even than what we saw on map 1. This is a back and forth heavyweight brawl. Both players trading big shots, but who is gonna find that knockout first?
It's so incredible to me, too, to look up at the scoreboards and see just how much Laurentian are winning in the kills, but they still aren't winning these hard points. I think that's got to be a big glaring issue that they look at in the VODs after this one. Obito, huge kills there to continue to soak up this time. Deep spawns, but how about the player number 4? That's Locks. He's trying to make something happen on a wide rotation to flip the spawns out. He might have just done it there with that kill. Could be huge still, though. Number 6 is going to spawn up by the next point. He's getting closed in on over there. Contest happening at Old. It's really going to be about the focus to new. Laurentian have built up some big time. They're back in the lead, and they can close it out on this next one.
That reminds me so much of the flank JT Speed had right at the start of the game onto P2. You sneak all the way in towards the backside, locks through every member of Laurentian except the one that was still racking up time, and NJIT just aren't able to follow it up. They can't gain an advantage off of that man slipping, and that might be the difference maker. They have to try and waste some time right now, get back over to P1 and win it from there as Money G gets knocked down, or actually finds a headshot onto K2. It turns it into a double kill, but the time is still in favor, ticking away and over towards K1, and there are only 10 seconds left now. Laurentian looking for that final push if they can slip onto the point. NJIT just trying to survive, get back across to P1, and they might just get there. They need to ones. They need Zebus to find someone, or these next few men across to get there. Laurentian, only 5 seconds remaining. That kill onto Money G might seal it. This is gonna be the end, and Laurentian win 3 straight to knock down NJIT Red and secure themselves a first round bye going into the qualifiers.
Really big stuff. Able to close it out here on P4 and 5. The string together is massive for Laurentian. We had a feeling that they wouldn't let 2 hard points slip, and they don't. But again, I do think after this one, they're going to be looking back at those VODs, trying to figure some things out, because when you're winning the kills by that much, it shouldn't be that close of a game. I mean, I guess you give credit to New Jersey. They do a really good job getting on the hill and valuing the objective. But for Laurentian, like when you have players that are all like 10 plus kills positive, and you're still allowing it to be a 50-point game, even losing map 1, something's wrong there. But I'm sure they'll go back and look at it. Either way, commanding performance. They flip the switch after map 1 and close things out in 3 straight.
They were 1 rotation away from losing that hard point. If
right.
P5 goes across to NJIT, if they were able to make something happen off of Locke slipping into the backside of spawns, I don't think that Laurentian closed that game out. So you're exactly right. If you are dominating in a respawn mode on kills like that, like on hardpoint, Moscow, Checkmate, any of them, you have to be able to close it out. There's a difference between being a couple kills above, having some guys positive and some guys sitting even, and having everyone just completely dominating and you're still not able to finish it. So I agree with you there. They need to work on their rotations, their hill holds, and if you're going up against an even team like that, where they're just better at moving around the map, take every single second that you can.
Yeah, and I know every team likes to have that one player who focuses the objective. That time it was Kilgannon 1. He had more than, I think, like 3 minutes on the hill. That's great, but if things are happening the way they did for that in that series for Laurentian, you might have to think about having 2 players who are focusing the hill and trying to be there, because if you're getting those kind of kills, there's so much space on the map. You should be able to pretty freely win games by a little wider of a margin. We saw how in map 1, they slipped up a little bit and they let NJIT take the first one. But I think, yeah, a really good job at retaliating back, figuring things out, making the right adjustments, and coming out and winning it. I think they're going to be a scary team come playoff time. That twin telepathy is massive from K1 and K2, and they still have a lot of support from their fellow teammates. Really great showing from both teams tonight, though. I think New Jersey, a lot to take away from it as well. Either way, though, Laurentian just the better team overall.
Well, that is going to wrap up our coverage for tonight here on Bravo Stream. And we had 3 great games, a lot of very close maps. Even in game number 2, where it was a 3-0 for High Point, there were 3 coin flip maps in that one. So I think it was a great top to bottom just display of what College God can be. And I thank you all for tuning in throughout. We do this every week on this stream and the Alpha. So if you're new here, make sure to come back and see how things play out, as we only got a couple more weeks. I think 1 more week until it is time for the qualifiers and the playoffs to get going. It is late into the season, and I love a little bit of playoff COD. For that, though, we will be wrapping up tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name has been Morgan. This has been Cambert. We had Mick joining us halftime through, and we will see you all next week.